Hello and welcome to my analysis of the Acorn Stakes at Saratoga on Friday. I don't think Torpedo Anna will lose this one, but still there are some possibilities of long shots that could finish underneath her. Let's take a look at the race and see who's live. First of all, why do I like Torpedo Anna so much? Well, she just has no flaws. She won the Kentucky Oaks by 4 3/4 of a leg, and 2 starts ago she won the Fantasy Stakes by 4 legs. And she has no problems with the sloppy track, fast track, distance is no problem. She won the Kentucky Oaks in 9 furlongs. We can look at the Fantasy Stakes and see how she won the race. We catch the Fantasy Stakes on the far turn, and Torpedo Anna is making her move. She's 3 wide right now. And the jockey looks very confident. As I said before, we reviewed this race before. The jockey looks confident at this point. West Omaha is under a ride on the outside. Recharge is fading on the inside. And Torpedo Anna is now being asked by the jockey to go. And she opens up on West Omaha. And she does it very well, even though she's being asked. I still like how she finishes towards the wire. It just seems like she gets stronger and stronger as she gets nearer the finish. And she was dominant in the Fantasy Stakes. As we saw in the Kentucky Oaks, Torpedo Anna was dominant in this race as well, and she did it over the slop at 9 furlongs. And we catch her on the far turn. She's turning for home. She has Ways and Means on her side, but Torpedo Anna's going to put away Ways and Means, and then she's going to have to deal with Just FYI, who's coming on the outside. Remember, Just FYI won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies last year, and she's trying to make a move at Torpedo Anna, but Torpedo Anna keeps her at bay. Regulatory Risk is in third, and she's just going to be alone in third. And even though Torpedo Anna is being asked to run, I like how she finishes strong towards the wire, just like in the Fantasy Stakes. And she just gets better and better as the race draws to its close. Torpedo Anna has no flaws. She can set the pace, she can stalk the pace, she can win on fast track, on slop, and she can win at about 1/16th, about 1/8. The Acorn Stakes this year is about 1/8. I think she'll be very strong again this week. She's had a month off. I just think she'll run to her peak again or even improve. Now, who will finish underneath her? I have no problem with thinking Just FYI will finish second again. She finished second in the Ashland Stakes off the layoff, and then she finished second in the Kentucky Oaks, as we just saw. But she also makes her third start off the layoff, and she could improve, and the effects of the layoff shouldn't be there anymore in her third start off the layoff. So I think she might run second again, but her odds are 5-2. And do you really want to play Torpedo Anna over Just FYI? And how much will that really pay? Probably not a lot, but she is the most likely filly to finish second in this race. Let's talk about some long shots though. My Main Squeeze went into the Fantasy Stakes as the favorite, and she did no running in that race, as you can see from the running line. She started off 10th, and she ended up 8th by 10 3/4 of a length. But then she bounced back in the 8 Bell Stakes, and she won that race by 2 legs. We can take a look at those races. Let's take a look at the Fantasy Stakes first, at least at the start. My Main Squeeze is on the rail. You can see My Main Squeeze shows no interest at the start, and she lets herself fall to the back of the field, and she doesn't lose contact with the field, which is a good sign, I guess, but she does no running either. She just follows the field around the track, and she just passes a couple of horses in the stretch run, but those were probably tired horses. And she probably just didn't want to run that day for whatever reason. I don't think there was a serious reason. I think she just didn't feel like running. Now let's take a look at the 8 Bell Stakes. The 8 Bells was, of course, on Derby Week, and she shows more speed in this race. You can see her on the outside stalking the leader. She's in 4th right now in the white blinkers, and she's going to make a wide move on the turn. Remember, this is a sprint. This is a 7 furlong race, so you have to show more speed if you want to be up close to the sprint. And she's making a wide move right now towards the leader, Esternia, and Helena's Ford is in between them. And My Main Squeeze goes a little wide there as she straightens out, but she's going to move towards the lead nicely. And she's being asked to go. I still like how she does it, and she's going to separate herself from those fillies that were on the lead. The one horse is coming. I forget what her name is because it doesn't show it on the screen right now, but she separated herself from the rest of the field. There was only one filly coming at her. I thought it was a strong performance, and I think My Main Squeeze could turn in another strong performance here. Can she beat Torpedo Anna? I don't think she can beat Torpedo Anna. Oh, Impel was the filly that was coming at her late. I don't think this filly could beat Torpedo Anna, but I think she can finish second or even third. And she's going to be double digit odds, so. Well, she is double digit odds on the morning line anyway, so I think she has some value to her. Cross the fantasy stakes out, I think that running line is just a one off, and she's a good filly that'll give a good account of herself in the stretch run. I also want to talk about Power Squeeze. Power Squeeze was my horse in the Kentucky Oaks, and she disappointed me with a sixth place finish. She lost by 16 lengths, but I also think she was too far back. She was 12th and then 13th and then 13th again, and she was 8.5 lengths back at one point. And I just think it was too far back. She probably got a lot of mud in her face. And she has a big rider switch this time to Javier Castellano. And this filly won the Gulfstream Park Oaks 2 starts ago, and she won it over Ways and Means, who's a good filly. And we saw her in the Kentucky Oaks trying to make a move at Torpedo Anna. Even though Power Squeeze got a bit of a setup in the Gulfstream Park Oaks, I like the way she won it in the stretch run, because it's hard for closers to win a mile 116 race at Gulfstream Park because of the short stretch. And I think she could bounce back in this race with a better ride from Javier Castellano. If he keeps her closer to the pace, she has a chance to possibly get a piece. I don't think she can beat Torpedo Anna, but I think she can finish second or third. In any case, I still like Torpedo Anna to win this race. Just FYI, is the most likely filly to finish second, but I also think there's a case for Power Squeeze and My Main Squeeze to finish second and third as well. Maybe I'll use those three fillies in a trifecta. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'll play this race just yet, but I know that Torpedo Anna is the best horse, and I expect her to run her race and win again. Torpedo Anna is my choice in the Acorn Stakes. Good luck with your bets on Friday at Saratoga, and I'll be back soon.